It's my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping.
In 2006, Gears of War arrived with an extravagant bang to the Xbox 360, and not only was it a visceral, bloody shootathon of awesome, but it also happened to reinvent and shape what third-person cover shooters were to become. Fast forward to 2016, and such titles are in abundance. We're now at the 5th entry to the Gears of War series, and it's now under the stewardship of the Coalition, one of Microsoft's first-party studios based out of Vancouver. Pushing aside the mediocrity that was Gears of War Judgment, Gears 4 brings back everything that the previous Gears did right. It's bloody, messy, explosive, clunky fun that caters to the love of old players and welcomes the new. But is Gears of War 4 just Gears of War? Roadie runs? Check. Chainsaw duels? Check. Shotgun frags, the reload minigame, an alien swarming massacre of mayhem, weighty, satisfying and brilliantly clunky, check, check and check. Boomers, those big bombastic beasts that cry boom before they wreck you, check. These are all familiar descriptors to Gears fans, but there is something fresh that the Coalition have running under the hood of the new Gears behemoth.
10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking.
It's a story, a tender tale of father and son. It's nothing new, and it's far more digestible than the Dom and Maria scenes from Gears 2, but it brings a human element to the gruffness that the Gears games are usually associated with. And you really do come to like many of these characters, and are therefore more challenged with the ultimate horrors they experience. And a horrors is a perfect description. Oh shit. If you enjoyed the dark, eerie creepiness of the original Gears of War and the juxtaposition of gothic architecture with chunky modern technology, you're in for a treat. It's a dirty, dangerous and dank future that paradoxically boasts some of the most remarkable art and vistas you'll find. And whilst the graphics alone won't blow you away, some of these environments truly are a sight to behold, with wild weather patterns and storms hounding you and your enemies in many environments. It's violent and unnerving and a testament to the game's masterful art direction.
Of silence, and the people bowing to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out his warning.
Playing as JD, son of Marcus Phoenix, the pivotal character in the previous Gears, and alongside his friends Del Walker and Kate Diaz, you are once again fighting on the planet Sierra 25 years after Gears of War 3. And with COG, traditionally the good guys, now a governing order trying to preserve humanity by force, and a new Locust-like threat, the game finds good reason to create a more diverse palette of enemies.
Let me handle this.
Citizen, you are not authorized.
No citizens here.
In this case, the DBs, helper droids that are reprogrammed for your destruction, and the Swarm, a far more cunning and engaging enemy that we've seen before.
So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart.
With aerial foes like drones and helicopters, plus swarm enemies that will happily flank and chainsaw your face, all whilst healing their downed comrades if you don't finish them off, there is considerable challenge here. Add in a mix of constant risk and reward with this new enemy type, and you get even more interesting. Want to chainsaw a DB? Go for it. Just be prepared to move, because it self-destructs upon defeat. Want to try the new Vault Kick or the Yank and Shank assassination maneuver? Awesome. But you will be exposed during the animation scenes, and you can easily miss, resulting in a failed grab, exposing yourself to ultimately instant death. With these new enemies comes new weapons and features like the delectable buzzkill that ricochets saw blades everywhere, the drop shot, a cerebral drill of gory gratification, a more dynamic and destructible cover system, and the biggest addition to the series, wind flares. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, you and your projectile weapons are now at odds against mini tornadoes and physics. Oh, and to see the robotics and flesh torn from a downed enemy by a wind flare as they carried off into the dreary black nothingness. It's wickedly satisfying, and like the old reliable Lancer chainsaw, never gets old. Gears of War made wave-based co-op multiplayer a thing back in 2008, and the Coalition carries the third iteration of Horde mode into 2016 with a class-based system to support your progression. It's satisfying if a little misguided. Outside of the scout role, which adds benefit to power collected, and maybe the engineer, the remaining roles are a bit of a mishmash of overlapping skills and weaponry, and it's hard to see how these individual classes will add their own value to the mode. But look, that said, with a group of friends, Horde is once again amazing. It brings the fun. It's a true ebb and flow of tower and defense and slaughter, an insurmountable crescendo to every 10th wave, every kill as satisfying as the last. And you really do feel like you've earned every wave you achieve. There's also Versus mode in there, which is the standard fare, and a plethora of new and fun game types that I'm not sure are going to have legs. The thought is great, but I feel it may splinter the community earlier than necessary, which could pose a big challenge, particularly with big hitting multiplayer games like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, and the next Call of Duty dropping in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Under new management, Gears of War is indeed in safe hands. The Coalition have delivered a safe, human story that, whilst doesn't stretch the player far beyond the previous games, it does provide a provocative father-son tale to contrast its brutal underpinnings. It's an accomplished nod to old fans of Marcus Phoenix,
They're gonna mess up my fucking tomatoes!
and a decent introduction to the characters of the new guard. As an evolution, the varied levels and mission types, the new enemies, the new weapons, and the use of Horde mode-like arenas to introduce campaign players to multiplayer elements all add good value to the longevity of the game. With its stunning skybox vistas and environmental effects, Gears' visual joy is only surpassed by its fun. It's the bloody, messy, roadie running, chainsaw dueling, alien swarming massacre of mayhem that we all remember and love. And sure, it may be Gears of More, but it greases the cogs well enough for the future of the franchise. Gears of War 4 is out now on Xbox One and PC. I am Orgaz, this is DZR, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, I gotta know. Do you think the locusts are back?
Don't know yet. That's the one nice thing about being old. You don't have to have an opinion about everything.